Another unprepared news reporter is told to sit down on account of not being prepared to face real questions with Pierre Poilievre. It's good to know after his answer, though, that he stands with Danielle Smith. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Pierre Poilievre has been on fire lately, and I've been making it my sole purpose to point out every win that he gets as he heads back into Parliament after a long winter break. Now, a lot of people speculating we may see a spring election, and there's a lot of people who are saying it's not going to happen. I think that with what Pierre is doing, again, the signals, when you look at patterns, when you look at what's going on in the political landscape right now, it seems like every leader of every party is taking every opportunity they can right now to get themselves front and center, which says that they're in campaign mode. If we look at Pierre Poilievre's activity on his Facebook channel, he's been uploading videos more and more often than he usually does. Justin Trudeau has, well, been gallivanting around as he has. Jagmeet Singh has been making it a point to hold babies and awkwardly stand in front of press talking about greedy CEOs more than usual. This tells me that there is a very strong possibility that there may be rumblings within the House of Commons we're not aware of that point to a spring election. But of course, Pierre Poilievre today talking about stopping the car thefts in Ontario, reducing crime, getting back to normal. But interestingly enough, a reporter got in the way of questioning Pierre Poilievre completely unprepared, as Pierre once again shows his no reservation for stupidity when it comes to how people ask their questions. This is akin to his how do you like them apples? Or any of his other questions where he's shut down a reporter out front of a Petro-Canada last year. It's so awesome to see this. And, well, I just wanted to share it with everybody because there's an important fact to take away here. This reporter coming to Pierre Poilievre to ask him why his party isn't commenting on Danielle Smith's latest changes in the province of Alberta when it comes to gender-altering surgeries or puberty blockers for children under the age of 17. If you haven't watched our video from this morning, you should go back and check it out. Of course, Danielle Smith coming out to say that if you're under the age of 17, you are no longer able to take puberty blockers. Parents must be notified of children who are specifying their gender preferences at school, and that women or biological men can no longer compete in women's sports. They will have separate leagues for those things, and that no surgeries, the big one, no surgeries can be done, gender-altering surgeries under the age of 17. And if they are to be consulted even at the age of 16 and above, that they must be signed off by a psychiatrist and a family member that is legally responsible for those individuals. Of course, over the weekend, we seen Rachel Notley and Janice Irwin out in full force crying tears because children can no longer mutilate their bodies. It's the most obscure clown world thing I've ever seen. But of course, Pierre has kept his party quiet, and there's a reason for that. And it's good to see because now Pierre has the opportunity to speak where he stands. Let's go through what happened during this questioning, and then we're going to get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
An internal email obtained by the Globe and Mail shows your party has advised MPs not to comment publicly on Alberta's new transgender health and education policies. Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on increasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Sorry, what's that? What was the last part of your question?
Why are you telling MPs not to comment on this? And can you please tell us your opinion on your party's position on increasing restrictions on transgender youth?
Okay, well, your question, it contains falsehoods. You should tell me what restrictions you're referring to.
That's the question they gave me.
That's the question they gave you. Who gave you that question?
That's from my office, from my desk.
Which desk is that?
It's from Omni News.
Okay.
It's a classic Pierre, just who gave you the question? Where did it come from? Now, before he gets into this answer, there's a reason that the Conservative Party has put out this memo saying don't talk about it. The circus that's been going on with Liberal MPs like Marcy Ian, who have come out saying that her and Justin Trudeau were up all night consoling children into the wee hours of the morning because of these rule changes, even though these children don't live in Alberta. Um, and also, why are they consoling children would be my question. But of course, when you want to face answers to questions like these, you don't want the lower tiered conservatives coming out and making statements. What you want is the leader of the party to come forward and say where the party stands, so that there is a very firm identity of this is the Conservative Party, we're one unit, this is where we stand on these ideologies. But again, Pierre's going to get into it, and again, I apologize for the interruption. I just love how he shuts this guy down, but let's get into the answer.
This is the problem. Justin Trudeau and the media have been spreading disinformation to distract from his doubling of housing costs, his quadrupling of the carbon tax, the crime wave that he's unleashed across the country. And they're doing that by spreading disinformation on this and other issues. Justin Trudeau does not want to defend his appalling record of sending 2 million people to food banks. And so he's spreading disinformation on this subject with the help of the media, who want to cover up for his failures.
So where this also gets in now is, how does this pertain to his thoughts on Danielle Smith? Get past his answer that came through on
distract from his doubling of housing costs, his quadrupling of the carbon tax, the crime wave that he's unleashed across the country. And they're doing that by spreading disinformation on this and other issues. Justin Trudeau does not want to defend his appalling record of sending 2 million people to food banks. And so he's spreading disinformation on this subject with the help of the media, who want to cover up for his failures. Our approach is to focus on our common sense plan: to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
Thank you. This will be the final question.
Sue from CBC. Just to follow up on the previous question and the video of Danielle Smith released. Where do you represent? Sorry, where do the Conservatives stand on these issues that she talked about in the video?
Oh, we stand for common sense, like on everything else. Our approach is to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. And we extend that same, we extend common sense to all issues. Now, Justin Trudeau wants to use this as a wedge issue. He's now trying to distract from doubling housing costs, quadrupling the carbon tax, unleashing crime and chaos in our communities, forcing 2 million people to the food bank. And so he is spreading disinformation on this subject. And it's time for Justin Trudeau to stop distracting and dividing Canadians. Let parents raise kids and provinces run schools and hospitals. That's my common sense approach, and it's time to bring it home.
right there. Pierre puts the nail in the coffin. Now, without saying I back Danielle Smith, he's essentially said, in layman's terms, I back Danielle Smith's decision. He wants parents to have the ability to raise their kids and governments to do their jobs by managing how the system works. That's the government's role. The government's role has never been to tell you what's good for your body, what medical procedures you should do, what transitioning you should do to your body, what you should give to your children, what you should be telling your children. These are all methods of control. And of course, like Pierre says, Justin is making this a wedge issue. And should we see a spring election, this is going to be what people call the carbon tax election. Pierre has named it multiple times, the carbon tax election. But I think Justin Trudeau is going to be bringing statements like these up throughout that campaign in order to gain some support that he can from the LGBT community that agrees with the side of allowing children to do these heinous things to their bodies. I can tell you right now that it's very refreshing to see Pierre take a stance to not just shut down the question and at least give some indication as to where his party stands on these rights. I know that no matter what you say in these situations, there is no pleasing everyone. But when it comes to our children, parents are legal guardians of their children. They have the right to decide what your kids can and cannot do to their bodies. Parents certainly never want to tell their children how to feel, and I think that most homes, I understand there's some that maybe don't agree or that are strict on policy when it comes to gay children or children who feel a certain way about themselves, but most parents in most homes in this day and age, I would think, are pretty tolerant as to what kids see themselves as, provided that they're thinking under the right conditions. I can tell you right now in my home, if my kids ever came home and said that they felt a certain way, I would want to sit down and listen to why they felt that way and how they came to those conclusions. And as a parent, I would try to support my children as much as I could and do what's best for them. That being said, I certainly would not allow my children to decide at the age of 13 that they want to take puberty blockers and mutilate their bodies. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Is this a good thing for Pierre? Is it good that he's finally taken a stand? Does this solidify your opinions of him now that people have said, well, he's wavering back and forth on the issue? He's basically come out and said that his stance point is to stand with parents' rights. Let me know your comments down below, what you guys think. And again, have a good chuckle at this reporter getting owned by Pierre Poilievre. It's good to see. If it's your first time here, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure as you're clicking that bar to head over and hit your bell for notifications. Join us live for our newest live streams here on the channel Friday for Friday Night Fringe, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Central. Here on the channel, we're going to be going over topics like this, as well as everything else that's happened in the week, and we're going to have a little bit of back and forth with the community, and it's always good to see you guys in there. Our community is constantly growing. Thank you so much, by the way, for everybody who's been here from the beginning, everybody who's coming in and joining our large Fringe majority here on the channel. It's great to see new folks in there every week, and I look forward to hearing what each of you have to say this upcoming Friday on Friday Night Fringe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.